And that is what the topic of this whole video is going to be on. The celebration of our veterans and the thanking of taking the time for them to give their service and some to give the ultimate sacrifice by giving their lives to give our country and all countries around the world freedom. And this video is not going to be dedicated solely to the United States at all. It's going to be dedicated to absolutely any country out there and that watches me. I do not care where you're from. You know, we had guys that go in the military and sacrifice their time or even their lives for every one of your countries. And that is huge, guys. And here in the United States, it's Memorial Day weekend coming up here, and I figured, you know what, we need to make an actual topic on this and discuss it. So that's my plans today, is to do a little bit of a topic from there, and I'm going to need your help on this, guys. One of my biggest things I've been trying to do lately is to make sure that I get you all involved in my videos, that you guys will converse back and forth, and just comment, guys. I mean, I think that's part of the fun of just having a YouTube channel, is when you guys will comment on the videos, talk back and forth, start discussions, whatever. And you know, this time we're going to be honoring our veterans, which is the biggest, it's such a huge thing. If we didn't have veterans, well, a lot of our countries here wouldn't have the freedoms we have today. We might be under a tyrannical government or whatever. You know, there's always going to be those hippie people that are all like, military's bad, war's bad, and all that stuff. They would be the first ones to be run over and told you can't do that again if they did not have the military men and women who gave their time and service and their lives for our countries. So that's what the topic today is going to be on, guys. So stay tuned. Alright, guys, because it's Memorial Day weekend, like I said, figured we'd do something a little bit special. This is down in St. Cloud, Florida. That's US 192 right there that runs through here all the way down. And they head that way, you go into Melbourne, Florida, right by the beach. Go that way, you go into Disney World. So just letting you know where we're at. But this is their military museum memorials kind of thing. And I figured I'd show it to you because of the fact that it's a special day, weekend here coming up. And I figured I'd go ahead and show it off to you. See what we got here. Let us pass over the river and rest under the shade of the trees. General Thomas J. Stonewall Jackson. I know you guys all know about him from your history books. A lot of high schools named after him, stuff like that. Sons of Confederate Veterans, 1896. Wow. So these are all either veterans or people that died from this town here in St. Cloud. It's pretty interesting. They just go around and around. Strike the tent, General Robert E. Lee. There you go. And so here in the United States, it's a really big deal. Veterans are very greatly appreciated and celebrated here, and it really does show a lot for our country. And I know a lot of countries really do make a big deal about it too, but I'm just showing my personal experience, what I know, how things are here. And I figured that we'd talk about it for a few minutes here today on our little weekend vlog. And thank every one of the veterans. I know a lot of times I have a lot of viewers that were probably previous military, current military, and our veterans. Maybe their families were veterans like mine were, and stuff like that. So I figured let's do a video on it today, and we'll let you see some of the cool stuff out here. Nice little howitzer, guys. Nice little howitzers. I don't know exactly the one for it. Erected for a high school band, 1952. Wow, city's old. But I think it was started in like 18 something. And the motto is Soldier City. So it says a lot about you. Well, guys, let's go ahead and get back on the bike. But I figured I'd stop and show off this cool little place for you guys and let you see what you think about it. But you can see in the United States it's really big. And I wanted to share our own personal experience with you guys. Alright, guys, now that I've showed you a little bit of a cool park down here in St. Cloud, Florida, I wanted to take a moment to give my own personal family's history of the military as far as I personally know it. Both of my grandfathers served in World War II as in the Army. The one was a truck driver and one was a cook. The one that was a cook had over-enlarged heart and they didn't really want him in the military. Said he couldn't do anything for the military, but he said, I want to do it anyways, and so they let him go in as a cook. And my mom said she was raised that way they would always go out, he would always cook everything for them every day, and because that's what he learned to do in the military. So that was pretty cool. You know, it wasn't the mom cooking every day, it was actually the dad cooking when he got home from work, which is pretty cool. My other grandfather, which I should say it's my step-grandfather, was, he was a truck driver in the military, in the transportation field. And one of the cool stories he told me was, you know, when Hitler was hiding all the Jewish gold and all the stuff they stolen from the churches and stuff like that back in the day, they put them all up underneath the mines and stuff, and they hid them on the ground. Well, when the Americans found it all, he was one of the trucks that was sent over there in the big, you know, convoys to go pick it up and take it back out. And he said when they backed in there and they loaded up his truck, it was almost chest high full of gold, the whole gold bars the whole way back behind his truck. So he'd look back like this over his shoulder, it would be all back here, right? And then, but they handcuffed his hand to the steering wheel so that he couldn't be tempted to take anything. And on top of that, he had an armed guard sitting right next to him, and he had 3 or 4 armed guards in the back guarding the gold at all times. And every truck like this was like that. He said it was more gold than he'd ever seen in his entire life. And he was just awestruck when he saw it. So those are 2 of my grandfathers, obviously. My uncles were in the Marines and the Army. And then, as you guys might know from my other channel, I was actually trying to go in the Army after college at the University of West Florida. I did Army ROTC, and that was my dream. Hey, to go in the military, serve, go see the world, do that kind of thing. Sadly, though, they really messed up my paperwork. They lost my paperwork a few times, or once, big time, was like 6 months later. Then they had me hopping from A to B to C to D, all that fun stuff. And, you know, it was just jumping through hoops. And after a year, I just gave up. Well, somebody or someone above said, you know, you're not going in the military. I have you for, you're going to go do something else in your life. And 6 months later, me and my wife started talking, and here we are today, and I'm married to a wonderful woman. And that, you know, so my life didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. But, you know, so I got so many of my own friends from college days that are currently in the military as officers now, captains, majors, and they're out there serving right now today all over the world. And they've been to Iraq 3 and 4 times, or Afghanistan twice. And I've got to give them and their families credit for having to deal with all that great stuff. And I wanted to take a moment to thank every one of you guys. If you are currently a veteran, or you are serving in the military in some shape or form, I don't care what country you're from, drop a little comment here now, guys. Let me know what branch you served in, what country you're in, obviously, if you're not from the United States. And did you actually have to deploy anything or not, and like go to Iraq, Afghanistan? Maybe you were in Vietnam, you're older. I don't know. And if not, I would like to also, should also thank the veterans of past. So if you actually have any grandparents or uncles and aunts that served, you know, in the military from, you know, generation or 2 back, you know, let us know about that too, because that is something that we should also appreciate that they actually took the time to do. You know, most World War II veterans are almost all gone today. You know, any that are still alive are in their 90s, and they're not going to last much longer. So, you know, if you ever see them, ask them about things if they want to talk about it. Thank them for it. So, you know, do your little bit of a part and show them some appreciation. I know current veterans are almost overwhelmed by so much appreciation, but you know, like the Vietnam guys that came back, man, it was a whole different world back then. You know, you had the flag burning, hippies and all that stuff. And it is really sad that those guys, they might not have had a chance to do it. Maybe they were drafted in and they didn't get the opportunity to say, yes, I want to go. And it's sad to see that happening. Anyways, guys, like I said, just take a moment, put it in the comment section below if you, your family, anybody you know served, and that's what I would love to hear. One thing I'm really trying to do, guys, is make every one of you guys involved in my videos at all times. All I want to do is get you guys to converse more in my videos, enjoy my videos. I'm trying to do different topics that nobody else has done before, guys. That is something that I'm really trying to work on. Things that make you think upstairs here. Not be one of these, like, just bozo, oh, how's it going? You know, all day long on their vlogs. So I hope you guys like this. Thank every veteran out there. I appreciate it. I know all these people, other people do too. And thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Guys, if you liked the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up for me, guys. Subscribe to my videos, share my videos. Let's see this channel just keep on growing stronger every day. And I really do appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. And one day, you know, hopefully we'll be in a couple thousand before we know it. So take care, guys. I will see you a little bit later, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful Memorial Day no matter where in this world you are. Take care.